In today's video, we're going to go ahead and circle back by taking a look at the newest Pokemon TCG set to be released in English, Shrouded Fable. It's about 2 or so weeks since it has come out. We're going to take a look at the top 20 most expensive singles. We're going to see what's moved on the list since we last took a look at it. And we're also going to take a look at 5 or 6 different sealed products to take a look at their values and how they've been doing over the course of the last 2 weeks as well. Without further ado, let's get into the singles. Alright, we go ahead by starting off with the basic Metal Energy, which is a hyper rare, or in this case a gold rare card. It obviously is just a steel energy card that has the gold border. Looking at the values here, we have as far back as August 1st, $14.57. Then we go to August 2nd, which is around its release day. I think that is actually its official release day, $14.13. But then from there on, it did dip down, going back to August 10th, $10.50, and right now it lies at $10.63 as of August 15th. Then we move on to number 19, which is the Fezandipiti EX. This is the regular double rare, so this might be one of the only double rares to breach this list. The Fezandipiti EX, it likely has a lot of playability if I had to guess, due to its popularity, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's go ahead and take a look at some values. So we have August 1st, $17.50, which is technically pre-release. Then we have August 2nd, which is $13.43, that is release. And then if we go down to, say, August 7th, $12.25. Overall, it does dip down, and its current value as of August 15th is $11.54. Then at number 18, we have the Cresselia Illustration Rare. This is a very beautiful card. I'm not entirely sure if we're looking at it from an upside down angle or something like that. It does appear so, where the landscape appears to be in the bottom left corner area, but regardless, it's such a fantastic card. Let's look at some values. So we have July 30th, $18.33. That's pre-release. We go to July 31st, which appears to be its high, $22.21. Then around release day, $15.36, and then from there it ultimately does dip down, where its current value is $11.40. Then at number 17, we have the Fezandipiti EX Ultra Rare, or in this case, it's the full art card. I've said it before, but I'm not a big fan of the full art cards and just their artwork in general. I think it's a little plain for my taste compared to what we get for the IRs, the SIRs, etc. But overall, not bad artwork here. Fezandipiti's hitting the dab, so let's go ahead and take a look at some values. We have August 1st, $23.69, then August 4th, $23.69 as well. Kind of remains that way throughout the first couple of days of August, and then from there it just drops down. $18.29 August 5th, $16.73 August 7th, and its current value is $16.25. Then at number 16, we have the Horsey Illustration Rare card. This is a very nice card. You have Horsey over here chilling at the bottom of the sea, the bottom of the ocean, on what looks like to be some coral or something like that, but it's a very nice card, very blue. Let's look at some values. We have July 30th, $15.58. Looks like as of August 1st, it does dip down, $11.14. Release day, August 2nd, $13.12. However, it does have a bit of a resurgence back up. It's currently in a bit of a downward trend, but its current value is $14.45. Then at number 15, we have the Pekarunt or Pecharunt EX Hyper Rare Gold card. This is a very nice card. You have the Pokemon in the center, and then you have kind of a beam of light, or like a light of focus going on in the center, radiating out to really shine on the Pokemon. It's a very nice style of artwork. We go as far back as August 1st, $19.65. Release day, August 2nd, $18.43. Ultimately does trend downwards though, and its current value as of August 15th is $12.25. Then we move on to number 14. We have the basic Darkness Energy Hyper Rare or Gold Rare card. This is pretty much the same as the Steel / Metal Energy we saw earlier, where it has the gold border. It's likely very playable, and that's probably where its value comes from. We look at some values. We have as far back as August 1st, $13.09. Release date, August 2nd, $12.38. It does look like it has an overall trend upwards, where August 14th, $15.59. Same thing with August 15th. Overall, a pretty good value for this card. Moving on to number 13, we have the Hourglass Hyper Rare or Gold Rare card. This is in the similar vein as the energy cards, except that this one's obviously a trainer card. Again, likely a lot of playability here with these cards, and that's why the Gold Rare ones of trainers happen to be a little more popular and have a little more value. Let's go ahead and take a look at some values. We have August 1st, pre-release $23.32, August 2nd, release day $22.39. Overall has a downward trend where its current value is $15.86. Then at number 12, we have the Monkey Dory Illustration Rare. This is a fantastic card. I actually managed to pull this card too, which I'm very thrilled about. I really love the artwork, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think the IR and the SIR should have swapped rarity. I think this should have been the special illustration rare card that we got, and then the SIR that we got should have been the IR, but that's just my opinion. Let's go ahead and look at some values. So we have as far back as August 1st, $21.16. Release day, $19.07. Overall, it does dip downwards, has a small spike back up August 7th, $18.10. But ultimately trends downwards, and its current value is $17.15. It looks like it could be slightly on the come up, but it's a little hard to tell right now. Then at number 11, we have the Dusclops Illustration Rare, and I actually really love this card line of the IRs for Dust Noir, Dusclops, and Duskull. I think it's a fantastic set of illustration rare cards. Let's go ahead and look at some values. So we have July 30th, $23.75. That's pre-release. Let's look at release. Goes all the way to August 2nd, $15.97. So it does dip down, but does have a small resurgence back up, going to $18.69 as of August 11th, but has since sort of plateaued at the $18.47 mark. We move on to number 10, where we have the Dusk Noir Illustration Rare card. Again, as I reiterate, I love the illustration rare line. If you were to look at all three cards, which there is a chance, I think all three are here, as Duskull is a few entries ahead. But let's look at some values. We have as far back as July 30th, $10. Overall, it trends upwards, where its release day is $24.72, and it kind of remains around that $23 mark, where its current value is $22.91. All right, then at number 9, we have the Monkey Dory EX Special Illustration Rare, or the SIR card. And as you can tell, I'm not as big of a fan of this one as I am of the IR. It's nothing against the artwork. I think it's just the fact that it's so close up, and we don't really get to see Monkey Dory's true personality or much aesthetics to it, right? But yeah, I mean, nevertheless, let's look at some values. We have August 1st, $41.57. That's pre-release. Release day, $38.79. And overall has a downward trend, leaching down towards the 20s. And its current value is $23.46. Then at number 8, and a card I'm actually a really big fan of, is the Houndoom Illustration Rare. This card is fantastic. I think it's such nice artwork, and you have all the Houndoom in the background moving as a pack with the gray and red accents. It's such a fantastic card. Let's look at some values. We have July 30th, $6. That's pre-release, mind you. Then August 1st, it does move up to $25.58. Release day is $25.82, and honestly, it kind of stays at around this area, as its current value is $24.88. Then at number 7, we have the Duskull Illustration Rare card. So yeah, this is the final one we need for the evolution line. We had Dusk Noir first, I believe, yeah, then Dusclops, and then, or reverse, Dusclops, Dust Noir, and then now Duskull. So such fantastic artwork. And again, the illustration itself is very unique in the sense it's got its like blocky kind of coloring book style, but I actually really appreciate that. I think it's really nice. But let's look at the values. We have July 30th, $29.33. August 1st, $22.92. That is the day before release, which is $21.65. Then from there, it does kind of dip, but go back up, where its current value is $26.58. Then at number 6, we have the Persian Illustration Rare card. This one is definitely a fan favorite from within the community. It is a very nice card, and it does appear as though this Persian is in Giovanni's kind of home or whatever, hideout, whatever you want to call it. So it could be Giovanni's Persian, but I'm not entirely sure. Let's look at some values. We have July 29th, $39.99. August 1st, 41.48. Release day is 42.11. Then from there, it does ultimately trend downwards, and it looks like it's kind of plateauing off right now, but its current value is $29.27. Then in the number 5 slot, we have Pecharunt or Pecharunt EXSIR. I actually really like the color scheme on this one. The purple, pink, magenta, and black kind of coloring style is very nice. It's very appealing to my eye personally. Let's look at some values. We have August 1st, $41. That's pre-release. Release day, August 2nd, $38.86. From there, it does dip down, but does plateau off. Goes as low as $28.31 on August 6th. And then does kind of swoop back up to $29.23 as of today. At number 4, we have Okie Dokie EXSIR. Again, if you saw the illustration rare version of this card, in my opinion, should have been the SIR, and this one should have just been the IR, but we won't get into that right now. We won't go further with that discussion. August 1st, pre-release, $49.39. Release day, $44.37. Ultimately has a downward trend, and it looks like it's starting to plateau, but its current value is $31.88. The third most expensive card to be coming out of Shrouded Fable, and actually to my surprise, is the Earthen Vessel. So this is very unique in the sense that it's an ancient trainer card, which I don't think we've had a gold / hyper rare trainer card that has ancient or future attached to it, so I think that's pretty cool. I'm sure this card has a lot of playability, and maybe the fact that it is an ancient / future card makes it meta, and therefore its value is highly increased due to its rarity as well. But let's look at some values. We have July 30th, $60. It remains that way for July 31st as well. Release day, $52.95. Does dip downwards, but goes back up August 10th, $54.99. However, plateaus for a little bit, then drops down, and it's currently looking like it's in a decline as its value is $50.90. The second most expensive card to be coming out of Shrouded Fable is the Fezandipity EXSIR. I pulled the IR of this card relatively recently, and it is a beautiful card nevertheless. And I'm surprised that Fezandipity IR doesn't make the list of the top 20. I think the full art does, which is kind of weird, but the IR doesn't, which I find very fascinating. But let's look at some values. We have August 1st pre-release, $96.59. Release day, $92.76. Ultimately trends downwards. Looks like it does hit a plateau though. Might be on the downward trend slightly right now. I'm not entirely sure, but its current value is $72.40. And then the most expensive card to be coming out of Shrouded Fable, and I believe it's the exact same for Night Wanderer, is the Cassiopeia SIR, the special illustration rare. Cassiopeia, or Penny from the games, is a pretty iconic character, I would say, from the Scarlet and Violet games. So yeah, I think this card is somewhat deserved in its placement here. Let's look at some values. We have July 30th, $200. That was just one sale though. Let's look at August 1st, where we have 18 items sold, $135.37. Release day, $129.83, and ultimately does trend downwards, where it's currently at $80.63. All right, now we're going to switch the conversation over to Shrouded Fable's sealed products. So starting off, we have a mini tin. So I'm just going to look at a variety of sealed products. I don't expect there to be much movement. If anything, things are probably going down because more and more product is flooding the market, right? So we'll just take a look at it for now though. I mean, we have July 17th, $14.72. Pretty far back for pre-release actually, and then overall it does trend downwards. We have July 30th, $14.40. August 13th is pretty much how long that stretches for, and its current value is $14.34. Then next we have a pretty well received and pretty plentiful product. I've seen this product in quite a few places, including Walmart and my local card shops. It seems to be the one product that's kind of always stocked up at just stores in general, is the King Gambit illustration collection box. This contains 4 packs. Then you have the King Gambit line with the King Gambit illustration rare promo card. It's a tried and true collection box. It does the job. It gets you packed and it gets you a sweet promo card lineup. Let's look at some values. We have July 17th, $27.77. Ultimately slowly trends downwards. Then you hit July 31st, where it just dips into August, $22.01, August 6th, and then ultimately trends downwards some more. $21 is its current value. All right, then we're gonna go ahead and look at the Kingdra EX SIR collection box, and we're also gonna look at the Greninja SIR collection box because they take a little bit different approaches. They end up in the same spot, the same value, but their trends are a little bit more different. So whoops, I went too far there, sorry. We have the Kingdra EX SIR, so July 17th, $32.81. From there, it ultimately trends downwards, but it does have some spikes up and down. Its current value is $30.76. If you look at this graph here, ultimately trends downwards, sometimes dips drastically and sometimes increases drastically. But the Greninja box, it takes a slower approach in going down, and I think the Greninja box is a little more well received than, say, the Kingdra EX box, just due to the fact that I think Greninja is slightly more popular than the Kingdra box. Like, for example, in my local card shop, I found the Kingdra EX box, no problem, but the Greninja EX box was sold out, and then I went back for the Greninja box, and it was way more expensive than the Kingdra box was. So July 17th, $32.98, takes a slower approach down, and it even spikes in value at one point, $34.12 on July 31st, but ultimately does trend downwards, and its current value is $29.72, whereas the Kingdra EX box is $30.76, so around the same price. Then we go ahead and take a look at the booster bundle. So I don't believe this card product is actually on the market yet. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it's the beginning of September or it's the end of August. I don't quite recall. It's one of those two, as even TCG Player says it's still in pre-sale. Let's go ahead and look at what we're dealing with here. This is cool because it's only on the up. So July 17th, $24.53, and then slowly increases July 31st, $26.83. Slowly increases August 10th, $30, and its current value is $31.32. Obviously, the booster bundle comes with 6 packs of Shrouded Fable. All right, and then the last sealed product we're going to take a look at, and this one hasn't even really hit the market yet either, and there's whispers in the wind that Shrouded Fable, the ETBs, either short printed or they're going to have like a crazy second wave or something like that. But I think the first wave of Shrouded Fable is the first wave of Shrouded Fable ETBs is not going to be plentiful, and who knows what's going to happen after that, right? But let's look at some values. So we have July 17th, $39.80. Overall, doesn't move too much, does spike up July 30th, $40.25, does go back down, but as of August 6th, it does spike up, and we hit a price of $42.97, and it plateaus down a little bit, but its current value is $42.55. All right, so that about wraps up our analysis for Shrouded Fable. This is quite the peculiar set in the sense that we're still waiting on some sealed product to come out. I mean, the same thing happened with 151 and I think a few other sets as well, Crown Zenith, etc., where you had a big release of half the product and then the other half of the product comes out like a month later or something like that. It's very interesting. I guess it's to kind of hold on to the momentum and hype of the set, especially with a smaller set like Shrouded Fable, right? But looking at the singles, of course, everything's going to start dropping down. We're 2 weeks into release. People either already have the cards that they want or they're waiting for the cards to drop down in price. And that's exactly what's happening, is because the market's slowly fading out, prices are dropping down. So if you're looking to pick up cards, you don't really have to wait too much longer for them to be an affordable price. And then, yeah, as for the sealed, I think honestly, as I've said before, the promo cards are killing it for this set. They're so nice, they're so good, and I think everybody wants them. I want them. It'll be a little bit longer probably before the boxes, the collection boxes, lower in value. I think just once everybody starts to get their hands on it, they will lower, but I think it'll take a little bit of time. Anyways, I'd love to know your thoughts on Shrouded Fable. Let me know down below, and I'll catch you in the next one.